morning, everybody. This is Jason from Blue Weather. If you like weather-related information, please like and subscribe below. I want to get into all these rumors that you've seen on the media, uh, places like AccuWeather. I'm not sure if the Weather Channel has been talking about it or not, but some of your local media have been kind of talking about it too. You know, whether it's going to be a coastal low, uh, nor'easter type of storm for this weekend. Um, I'm still optimistic about it. Uh, I'll just tell you and show you what the models have sort of been saying. You can judge for yourself, and we'll monitor this as we go forward into the rest of this week. Um, and yes, Benjamin Burns, any scenario that I've seen shows rain in Charleston. Just figured I'd throw that out there. He's one of my longtime fans here on Blue Weather. Appreciate your support. Appreciate all your support, all you guys. So let's just get right into this. This is the German Icon model. Now, it is one of the models that has been showing the low coming up the coast and showing a little bit of cold air being in place over eastern West Virginia and western Virginia. Um, and this particular image is 1 a.m. Saturday morning. Now, the one that's always wishy-washy all over the place is the GSF. I definitely don't trust anything that it says on its record this year, but I will show you what it's saying. Now, this morning it actually uh, showed a more defined storm and more cold air in place. Uh, this particular image is on Friday evening, and you can see that the only place it was showing snow was in the mountains there over North Carolina into Virginia at that point. But then, as it if the low would go up the coast, as you see that little low right down here on the corner of right there close to Outer Banks. Now, if it would come up that way, it was saying there'd be enough of cold air in place on the mountains to have some heavy wet snow in eastern West Virginia and western Virginia. I'm not going to go on this train yet on this storm. I've got to see more proof, more evidence that it could happen. I'm not saying it can't happen, but like I said, this is just forecast discussion. I really don't know what's going to happen at this point yet, but I understand why the meteorologists uh, are concerned about the system where there is some of these models showing a low going up the coast and the possibility of a negative tilt in the jet stream, which is two good ingredients to cause snow. But there's a lot of lack of cold, as you can tell. It was only shown in one little area there. Uh, it's not wouldn't be no full blown blizzard, like everybody wants up the coast, So I mean, just gonna take it as a grain of salt right now. Just look at the data. This particular one is 1 a.m. Saturday morning on this GSF model. And this is what I'm talking about. Here's the Canadian model, and you can see that its low is way further south, keeping the moisture well below any cold that would be in West Virginia and Virginia. You can see just a little bit of mixed precip there in North Carolina, keeping the moisture way down. It does that mean that it can't trend more north on this model? Sure it could, but for right now it's not. So you can look at this model; it's not even that big of a deal. Same thing with the high resolution European model. It has the low way further south, keeping the moisture below any cold that might would be in place in the Virginias. Now let's look at some of the placements for the low pressure on some of these models. Like I said, this was the GSF model. You see the low coming up right through near Outer Banks, basically coming up the edge of the coast there. Yeah, that scenario would yield possibly some snow for us, possibly. Uh, Now this is the GSF ensembles. That's when you take that model I just showed you and run it uh, 20 times or so and see what kind of results that you get as you put the data in. And you can see that it's, go back and look at that. You see the placement of the operational model that runs every 6 hours, slightly north on the low than what the the low is on the GSF ensembles. And see, that's a big deal. I mean, you're looking at, I don't know, 50 to 75 miles maybe difference of the place of low pressure. That's huge on whether you would have any moisture up into the area that GSF model was saying that it was going to snow this morning. So, I mean, like I said, there's nothing really that's got me thinking for sure that we'll get any snow off of it. But you look at this Navy model, it has the low further up, just like the GSF had. And like I said, the German Icon model has it even further than that up. I mean, in this particular setup that you see here would yield some snow for eastern West Virginia and western Virginia. Uh, and this is the Canadian ensemble. No, actually, this ain't the Canadian ensemble. This is the GEPS ensemble, which is it's like a North American ensemble that works a little bit with the GSF model. But as you can tell, there's an opportunity here, but nothing's set in stone. So I guess if you want snow, you got a little bit of hope.